Another thing to help prepare you for moving to Africa, do not tell everyone. Oh my God, I cannot stress this. Do not tell everyone about your move. I think you know this. I think you've heard already by now the importance of moving in silence. If we are pertaining that to our businesses and different things like that, something so major like dropping everything and packing up yourself or your family and making this move, which is like one of the biggest, craziest things that any human being could ever do, especially an American, for what we come from. Don't play with your life like that. Like, don't play with your life like that. Don't tell everybody. People really do put their fears on you. People really do project. That's what we're here to do as human beings. We project on each other. We project off of each other. This is a projectural world. This world is literally what we're projecting from the inside out. So on so many levels, I could break this down. But just be careful telling people you don't even have to. There's so much beauty in moving in silence that I just can't even explain how important it is for you to make this move to Africa without telling all your friends and family. Choose one, two, no more than three people. Okay? No more than three really close people whom you know is going to assist you in this move. Don't tell people that you know is just going to try and stop you and hold you back and stuff like that. Now, let me be clear on this. I'm not telling you to leave your parents and your siblings and stuff and don't say nothing at all and just call them after a month of being here. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? For me, I didn't tell anybody about my move at all, really. I ended up having to share with my audience once we got stuck in New York City. But as far as like my personal circle, my family and stuff, I had three friends that was so looking forward to me moving that I told. And I told my mom and dad a month after we left. I mean, a month before we left. So that we could say our goodbyes and they could spend time with me and the kids and stuff. So I didn't tell them months before because I knew that I had to get my mind right. I knew that I had to strengthen myself. And there were so many things that I had to get done that I didn't want the emotions and the projection and stuff to take place. But I was able to handle that once I got our tickets and, did all the other little things that I had to do to get us established to move. Then it wasn't that bad that they definitely were not feeling it. My parents was not feeling it. They were like, "You're selfish. This is not good." My dad was like, "I don't think you're gonna make it. I'm sorry." It was horrible. It was a disaster for that month. But I'm so glad that I dealt with that for a month versus 6 months to a year of me trying to make this move and going through all of what life throws at me, and then also having my family go against me, who will one day be okay with it, like they are today. All right? So it's not a big deal. Your family is going to be upset with you. All right? Most of them are going to be upset. Most of them are going to call you crazy. It's okay. It's okay. Because as soon as I got down here and got established, my parents were getting their passports and now they're ready to move here, okay? My dad just moved to Tokyo. I honestly believe that my dad would have never made that move to Tokyo if I wouldn't have made this move to Africa. So you'll be so surprised at how your family will change once you come here and you just be like, "I'm good, y'all. Like, I'm not out here getting kidnapped and human trafficked, okay? We're not out here starving and stuff." All the stereotypes that Americans have, like, it's different. When you tell your family, "I'm moving to Mexico, I'm moving to the Virgin Islands, I'm moving to, Dubai or something," even France, they feel a lot safer. In these places that are very dangerous, that still have a lot of danger, they don't have as much opposition. But telling your family that you're moving to Africa, you might as well say you're moving to Mars. You might as well say, "I found a house on Pluto and we're moving." Okay? So just keep that in mind. Your family is probably not going to support you. Most of them will not, and it's okay. And in order for you to protect yourself and your energy and your move, you need to not be telling everybody. You need to ask yourself, why do you have the urge to tell everybody? Do you really believe it? Sometimes we want to tell everybody about our our move because we don't really believe that we're even able to make this move. We actually want validation from others. So please be careful with that. Okay? All right, another thing to help you to prepare to move to Africa is look out for other Americans that already live on the continent that are telling you that they are going to help you. Look out for that, okay? This is a major thing. I feel like I have to do a whole video on this. Ooh, baby, there are a lot of us moving here from the U.S., and not even from the U.S., just from the diaspora. And we don't know how we're going to make our money. And we know that other people that are from where we're from need our help. That they that you guys connect with the familiarity. I can never say that word. Being familiar, okay? We familiar to y'all. So so it's really easy for people to scam you. It's really easy for people to portray it as if they can really help you, and they're really not trying to help you. They really just need to pay their next month rent. They don't really have their gifts and their whatever it is that they're doing. They don't really have their businesses established. They are, thinking from a place of lack and desperation, and so they're just trying to make a quick buck. This is happening more than it's not. Okay, from all different countries in Africa, and I actually just read a story of someone doing this to someone in Mexico. So I'm not going to get into too many details, but I do want to say that use your discernment. When you move here, please be careful about trusting Americans. All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Period.
And as much as we want to be on some, like, we have our own community, we sticking together as Americans, as the diaspora, that's not the real reality all the time here. Okay? Maybe on certain levels, maybe with a few certain, cliques and people, but as a whole, we're not doing that here as a whole because we're still really up here. So people are coming here with their damage and with their trauma and with their greediness and with their fear that they're going to have to go back, and they are doing whatever they can do to survive. Okay, people are bringing their survival mode over here, and you are the victims. Okay, me and you. Okay, I'm gonna say me because I damn near was a victim. At one point, I am no longer a victim. What actually turned out to be someone trying to scam me and literally stealing thousands of dollars from me, it turned out to be the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I thank you so much. If you're watching this video, I thank you. I thank you for stealing all that money from me, for trying to stop me from moving here, for playing on the innocence of me thinking that I can just establish a sisterhood and I'm just going to make this move because you care about me and I have children and you want to see me make it. I thank you for playing on that because you taught me so much, and you also helped me go down this path of independence and trusting myself that I didn't even know that I needed before moving here. So I'm not even being funny. I really do sincerely thank you. Everybody plays their role, So yeah, just look out for that, you guys, because people will play on your passion and your gullibleness of wanting to really get over here. Like a lot of us are coming here and we are genuine. We really do have this village mindset and this village goal that we're trying to achieve. And then there's people that don't have that mindset, people that are not really on that. They just really seem like they are, and they might look really good. They might have these talents and these gifts that you're just like, oh my God, this gotta be legit. But no, it doesn't mean that people are legit. It doesn't mean that people have the same vision that you have, the same intentions. We move differently in the world. So I think it's just good to keep that in mind. Okay? Another thing I think is really good to help prepare Americans for moving to Africa is to kind of try to prepare yourself to not react so much. I feel like as Americans, we react. Black Americans, we react. We react and we react. When someone tries us, when someone is disrespecting us, just so many different scenarios. I feel like we are reactionless people. We do a lot of reacting. And I think that when you have, I don't know how to explain this, but when you leave home, okay, when the pacifier is taken out of your mouth and you come to a foreign place, it can kind of have you in fight or flight mode. It can kind of have you in protection mode. If you hear anything or know anything or have any experience about being scammed, being played, being robbed in a foreign country, it can already have you in that mode of being ready to react. But I am here to tell you that not every action requires a reaction, and that we have to learn to have the balance in it, because I have had experiences where sometimes I do need to react in my American self. Sometimes motherfuckers need me to do my American reaction. And then sometimes I am overreacting, being that I'm reacting in my American self because what I thought was going on is not even really going on. What I thought and what it felt like and what it looked like, it wasn't even really what's happening. It was actually nothing. And my mind, being in survival mode, being in protection mode, was thinking that something will be going on that it's really not. So I have definitely learned, just like I've learned to let go, to just relax, I've learned to not react so much and to be more patient in my reaction. And so I feel like that's something that Americans really, really struggle with. I think that Americans come here, and even after years of living here, still haven't established the understanding that everything doesn't require a reaction. That sometimes the reaction is better for you to react in a more calm mode and maybe not react at all. Maybe just sit back and just see how things play out. And so going along with that, there's also the thing of knowing to, I guess, the awareness of being kind, being nice. Americans, yes, we're kind and nice, but we also can be assholes. I think that there's a balance that needs to be with that too, because I have found that Americans, we can come here and we can either be rude as hell and really bring our harsh American lifestyle with us, where we're not nice and we're not, we're not smiling, we're not greeting people. People really greet people here. You can't be walking past people and not saying hi here. It's not like that. It's total opposite. But I also feel as though sometimes we come here and we are too nice. Sometimes we are so nice about situations, and I think that this actually comes from us coming from such an apologetic place. As Black Americans, you may or may not notice this about yourself, but living in America, you have to learn to be very apologetic. You have to learn to do a lot of, oh, I'm sorry, oh, excuse me, oh, okay, I didn't mean to, oh my God, oh, sorry. We do a lot of that. And we do a lot as Black people, especially as Black women, especially if you're a Black woman that is in the working place, you subconsciously, you don't want to make an uproar of something. You don't want to be the person that is over-exaggerating, overdoing it, making a scene, because any kind of attitude, any kind of feelings that we express, it's overreacting when you're in America. It's too much when you're Black in America. So I feel like we bring that here, and there are certain times that you actually did need to turn up. You actually did need to say what was on your mind, and you don't, because you don't want to look like that person. But this isn't corporate America. Africa isn't corporate America. So you don't have to be like that here. Even if some people might say, okay, you're doing a little bit much, you American, you acting like an American. I've had people say that to me. But I've also got my point across. I've also gotten the respect that I demanded. So I just think that balance is really important. The balance of knowing when to be all the way chill and just kind of lay back and not react. And then the balance of being able to be like, okay, no, in this situation, I need to really voice my opinion. I need to really let you guys know what's up, because this is not going to stand, or I don't, I'm not going to allow this. I knew someone who came with that mindset of not wanting to, over exaggerate, don't want to make an uproar, and they were actually getting robbed. And because now granted, the robberies in Senegal don't always look like robberies. I've actually had several friends that have gotten robbed here, and they did not know they were being robbed. I know, that's crazy. But it's just very gentle. It's not the same, okay? In America, you getting pistol whipped out the gate, and it's very aggressive, okay? Totally different vibe here. So there were some people that were being robbed for their cell phones, and the robbers here in Senegal were like poking them. They were like poking them, and they were like, come on, like they were trying to do it in a slick way. So it wasn't obvious that they were being robbed, and the people had only been here for like a week, so they were fresh. They really didn't know, and the girl actually ended up taking too long to scream and make an uproar because she didn't realize that she was being robbed, and she didn't want to look like that sister that's making a bunch of commotion when it ain't even nothing going on. So yeah, they actually did. They did try to catch the dude. They caught the dude for a second. He ended up getting away once she finally screamed. But they were sitting there doing a tug of war, with their phones, and not really realizing, because you come here with this naiveness anyway. It's not even naiveness. It's the real definition of ignorance. You just don't know. So I know that sounds like, what? When we hear about situations, we like to be like, if that was me, I would have did this, but you really don't know what you would do in those situations. There's so many factors that play a part when you're in a situation, in a new situation, in a new place, So yeah, she didn't really know what to do, and she didn't want to be that black woman that was making a scene, and so she took too long to make a scene, and yeah, she ended up getting robbed. But I just think that that's a really good example of how sometimes you do need to turn up and let them know, like, we're not playing no games. This is a foreign country. I don't speak French and Wolof yet, but I have been able to get my point across. If somebody was messing with my kids or something like that, I've been able to fully establish, okay, I'm going to have to do some story times on that, because I've been able to fully establish in my American English voice and tone that I'm not the one to play with, okay? So that's that. Okay, last two things. The paved roads. Get ready for it to not be roads everywhere. This is Africa. So what? There's not roads everywhere. Don't move here if you want to see paved roads everywhere. Go to South Africa, where I think most of South Africa has paved roads, or at least a lot of, they're very well developed or whatever. But I didn't want to move to a place that has a bunch of highways and stuff, even though there are highways here. There's quite enough highways and paved roads here to me. I love seeing the red clay dirt. I love seeing the dirt roads. I love feeling like I'm not in a fully colonized, or I should say, industrial developed place. It makes me, it reminds me that I'm still in the beginning of Africa. It reminds me that we can be happy in a place that doesn't have paved roads. So don't come here with that mindset of like, ooh, they don't have paved roads. No, it's Africa. They're not supposed to have paved roads everywhere. That's just what it is. Same thing for the trash. I cannot speak for everywhere. I cannot speak for all the countries. But I have been to Gambia. I definitely have seen it there. Maybe not in abundance. I only spent a few days there. But definitely in Dakar, in Senegal, and specifically in the cities in Dakar. I almost feel like the cities in any country in Africa are going to have a lot of trash. I've seen videos from Wodamaya where he talked about certain places having lots of trash, and the trash system is not as established as it is in the States and in Western countries. So you will deal with trash. What I want to say to Americans about the trash is, let's not forget that New York is trashy as hell. New Jersey, trashy as hell. Boston, trashy as hell. There's a lot of places in our country, in our full-grown developed country that is trashy. New York literally floods now because there's so much trash clogging up the gutters, okay? So I just think it's really good to not come here with that mindset of like, ew, look at the trash, look at the trash. Go to the countries or to the areas where there's not that much trash. But please don't come here frowning upon them for not having a decent trash system. Develop the trash system. I mean, or don't, because we also come here with the mindset that we're supposed to fix everything. You're not supposed to fix everything. You're just an American. You're just an American that came from America. Like, out of all the countries, you can't come to another country and be like, oh, I'm about to fix this. This needs to be done. This needs to be fixed. There's definitely a thing with a lot of Americans where we come here with this hierarchy mindset and we look down upon certain things that are not how they are in the States. But they're not supposed to be. They're not like that because that's what makes it different. So just try not to come here with that mindset and try to remember that New York is trashy too. Okay? All right, y'all. That's it for things to prepare you for living in Africa. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Share this video. Thumbs up. Let YouTube know that your girl needs to be suggested, okay? Until next time, thank you for rolling with a sister.
I see you in the moonlight dancing, yeah. Only need one chance, girl, right here. One night stand, please don't have fear.